What a day to be alive. Oh my goodness. The sun is shining. The day beckons for all of us. It calls to us. Can you hear it? Live your life fully. Be who you are. The Oilers are headed to Florida for Game 7. A concert for Jane Perry is being held this afternoon. And these long days are incredible. I feel a little bit like a guilty child. I'm going to bed when it's still light, and there's something wrong with that, just saying. I'm the Reverend Samaya Oakley, and it is my delight and my honor to welcome you into this space that is Calgary Unitarians. I'm the daughter of Violet, granddaughter of Anne and Rose. I am third-generation Canadian, and my ancestors come from the lands of what is currently known as Germany and Ukraine. In all the beauty of languages, culture, and skin tones that come together in your uniqueness, you are welcome here. In all of the ways that you express gender, you are welcome here. In all of the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. With all of the religious and ethical traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here. Whether you come feeling whole, feeling broken, or anywhere in between. My dear ones, you are loved and you are welcome here. No matter how long you've been away, nor how soon you will return, you are welcome here. And let us, today in particular, welcome two people that are with us for this service and helping to make the service possible. We have, first off, Gavin Caldwell, our interim pianist, and who will soon be our music director, is away enjoying the waves of Tofino. Life is so hard. Life is just so hard. And it gives us the opportunity to welcome Melissa Coe as our guest pianist this morning. We're delighted you're with us, Melissa. And also, more importantly, during our National Indigenous History Month, following on the heels of National Indigenous Peoples Day, we are overjoyed to welcome Cheryle Greyeyes as our guest speaker this morning. She's a member of the Muskeg Lake Cree Nation in Territory 6, and I have to tell you that as a relatively newcomer in Calgary, it seems at almost every event I go to, you will see Cheryle, or you will see her daughter there. She's extremely generous in sharing her learning and teachings, and so when one like Cheryle is willing to be a bridge between Indigenous peoples and non-Indigenous peoples, we are honored and blessed. And as a token of our honor and our blessing, Cheryle, we have this gift of tobacco for you to welcome you into this space.
Repeat after me. Tansei. Oki. Danitada. Abawatek. Anin. Buju. Tanishi. Hasgoane. I like ending in Canadian. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Samaya. I'm so grateful. As she mentioned, my name on my taxes is Cheryle Chagnon-Greyeyes. My Cree name is Nanantawe Esquayo Yahokapimotet. I am Healing Woman Who Walks Far. And I am so grateful, honored, and humbled for this beautiful gift of tobacco. In our way, when you offer tobacco to a traditional knowledge keeper or an elder or a helper, it signifies from your heart to my heart to Creator. And it creates a sacred covenant, a blessed promise. It shows that you come with good intent and in the right way, with integrity and humility, gratitude and appreciation. And because it is a sacred covenant, it will last you to the other side. So it's longer lasting than a mortgage. Remember that. I am so grateful and so blessed to be able to share a piece of prose for our land acknowledgement. And when we consider the theme of why bother, I want to share this with you, which will clarify the why we bother. Last year, I was involved in an art project called YYC Riverfest. I've been doing work with them for a few years. Let's just say a few years. And last year, I was asked to submit a piece, a prose, or poem, or a story to their e-zine. I didn't even know what an e-zine was. But I thought, okay, I can do this. And I was a little confused and a little concerned. I wasn't sure what I was going to submit. And then I went to bed. Creator woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and had me running to my computer. And I jotted this down. I punched this into the keys. And then the next morning I woke up and I read it and I'm going, oh, that's good. And I want to share this prose with you today. And it is a traditional acknowledgement of territory. I consider myself a guest here. I've lived here in Mohkinstsis since 1993, but I'm from Treaty 6. So I consider myself a guest and a visitor to these lands. And I invite you, as I share this wonderful gift from Creator, to close your eyes and let me take you on a trip through time and space with my words. We are visitors to this land, the lands of the Treaty 7 people, the lands before. This place we call Calgary, Mohkinstsis, the meeting of the Bow and the Elbow rivers, the joining of the waters, firmament and fluid left by ancient glaciers and melting waters, land rising, dripping, drying into dust and dirt. The Siksika Itsitapi, the original peoples of these prairies, foothills, and mountains. They are the Blackfoot of Siksika, Gaina, and Bagani. They are sustained by the buffalo, the bison, the ini, nomads walking in the footsteps of their ancestors. The Dene of Tsutsena, the Sarv Sea peoples from the far north, stretching south across Turtle Island, separating, following the land and the waters, walking, trekking, heading north, heading south, forward, onward. The Stony people, Eyarhe Nakoda, of Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Good Stony nations. Horses and hooves, hunting and hiking, seeking and searching for the life-giving, living food and provisions for their families. The proud, hard-working Métis, newer to this land yet still connected to their relatives, their ancestors, to those who have come before. Following the bison, the sustenance of the peoples, footprints in the blackened earth, footfalls forming paths through grasses and forests, climbing hills and mountains, forward, onward, connected to land and spirit, ancestors and future kin, those who have been on this land for millennia, living, dying, fighting, thriving, sharing, close to spirit and to land always. We walk in their ancient footsteps, footfalls now paths, hooved earth now roadways, roots linked to those ancient roots of family, of blood, of remembering, of spiritual connection to those who have come before and those who are still here. We are visitors to this land. We walk these lands with respect and humility, in gratitude and appreciation, in recognition of those who have come before, the lands of the Treaty 7 people. Thank you, Creator, for blessings received. Hi, hi. In my way, when we pray, we sing. And I wish to sing a song for you today. Can you say Miyasin? Miyasin means beautiful in Cree and honors your beautiful spirits that you've brought here to share today. Miyasin was written by Joseph Nato Howe of Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation, Treaty 6 in Saskatchewan. Probably a cousin. We tend to be related in Saskatchewan. I always honor where my songs come from. And normally when I sing my songs, I sing them in rounds of 4 to honor the teachings of the medicine wheel, just as my ribbons honor those 4 sacred directions. But this song is special, and I sing it in 3 rounds with purpose and intent to include each and every one of you and your beautiful spirits that you're brought here to share today, and to invite spirits to join us on this sacred journey, this sharing, this gathering, this service and recognition. This is Miyasin, the Cree welcome song. Miyasin, Miyasin, Asemina, Asemina, Epitakote, Giwagomagan. Ota oma kitaskino. Miyasin, miyasin, asemina, asemina, epitakote, giwagomagan. Ota, oma, kitaskino. Miyasin, miyasin, asemina, asemina, epitakote, giwagomagan. Ota, oma, kitaskino. Thank you, Creator, for blessings received. And bless these people who are gathered here and afar in a good and kind way. as we honor their beautiful spirits who have come to share today in a good way. I am grateful. Kinana Skomitin. Hi, hi. Thank you, God.
Our chalice lighting this morning is a responsive one, and very shortly there are going to be some text up on the screen, and I will read the part in plain text, and I invite you to respond with the text in italics. And we'll just take a moment. There we go. In the face of hate.
We answer the call of love.
In the face of exclusion.
We answer the call of inclusion.
In the face of homophobia.
We answer the call of 2S LGBTQA+ rights.
In the face of racism.
We answer the call of justice for all races.
In the face of xenophobia.
We answer the call of pluralism.
In the face of misogyny.
We answer the call of women's rights.
In the face of demagoguery.
We answer the call of reason.
In the face of religious intolerance.
We answer the call of diversity.
In the face of narrow nationalism.
We answer the call of global community.
In the face of bigotry.
We answer the call of open-mindedness.
In the face of despair.
We answer the call of hope.
And as Unitarian Universalists, we answer the call of love.
Now more than ever.
I'd like to introduce our opening hymn, Mother Earth, Beloved Garden, number 1067. I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing together. Mother Earth, beloved garden, living treasure underfoot. All our days you ground our being, sage and thistle, grass and root. Herbs to heal us, plants to feed us, land to till and tend and plow. With a pendant deep as midnight north, we ask you be here now. Father, ere your inspiration holds together all that lives, as we breathe our minds see clearly, leading us to love and give. Raging whirlwind, whispered breezes, violent gale and gentle cloud, with a blade as sharp as morning beast, we ask you be here now. Brother fire, great transformer, share the passion of the sun. In our hearts your warmth revives us, cooks our food and heats our homes. Flaming candle, blood within us, blazing desert will to grow. With the wand directing power, now we ask you be here now. Sister water ever flowing, ocean, river, pond and rain, drink we now and quench our thirsting, cleanse us we begin again. Mist and ice, a host of changes, all that courage will allow. With the cup, the holy chalice, west we ask you be here now. Lover, spirit, intuition, in the center of our souls. In your love we find relation, all connected we are whole. Timeless mystery, quiet conscience, deepest values voice inside. With the drum and with the cauldron, this we ask you be our guide.
All right, so excited to be here this morning, and that song just made me think of the connections that we all have in different cultures. So we have Indigenous cultures, but also Celtic cultures. And I kind of had that mixed feeling as we were singing that. And I thought, we're not that different after all. We have all these connections. I'm Sheila MacMaster, Director of Religious Education here at the Calgary Unitarians, and my pronouns are she and her. And I want to talk to you all very seriously about camp. It's coming up, July 5th to the 7th. I've got 2 rooms left if you want to be in luxury and come out and be with all of us. I've got a couple RV sites and a bunch of tent sites. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to go see the wildlife sanctuary. We're going to have a hosted dance. We're going to have... Oh, Robert is practicing on his ukulele, people. You need to come out. So we got a few spots left. Contact me, come chat with me, and I'll get you all hooked up. But it's going to be a hoot. And there's already 40 of us coming, so you don't want to miss out. And the next thing I want to talk about is how, then this excerpt here is adapted from Cole Wilson from the Saskatchewan Physical Education Association. He has much to say about this topic. And he talks about how for thousands of years, Indigenous people have had education systems that are holistic and recognize the importance of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Life was rich in relationships, teamwork, art, music, and dance. And games practice the skills necessary for survival. And so there's this idea, often in European Western culture, that you play and then you work. And the two shall not intertwine. If it's fun, you're not working hard enough. And so now we're discovering through science, science, things that playing, people actually learn faster, quicker, better. And that's something that many people have known for a long time before science proved it. And so today, what we're going to be doing with the kids and youth is taking some of the traditional Indigenous games and learning them, and they also teach a lot of different skills. So one is called Run and Scream, which I think our kids have down already, but the fun part is that you see how long you can run and scream at the same time, and when you run out of breath, you put a marker down, and then whoever has the most lung capacity wins the game. And so if you hear screaming outside, we're okay. We're okay. And then the other one is actually a Cree game called Corralling the Buffalo. And so this is a great way where one person is the buffalo and one team has to, without touching the buffalo, corral them into a spot. And then the other team gets a chance. And each got 3 minutes. And I'm going to be the buffalo. And so I've asked my helper, Rain, to find me an appropriate hat. And I will be out there. And if you see me all sweaty later, it was just buffalo workout. That's what I've been doing. So the story I'm going to share with all of you today, it may be a story that is familiar, as I read it not too long ago, but as I pondered today's theme, it was one that called out to me to be shared again. And the story is I Hope by Monique Gray Smith, who is Lakota Cree. And it's a bilingual story that's available in both Cree and English, but I will be reading the English version today. So it's called I Hope. And it's a story of the hopes that parents and grandparents have for the young ones in their lives. And I think it's very poignant, listening to the words from an Indigenous perspective. Perhaps these are hopes that were not met in their own lives. And it's also a story that transcends culture and connects us as humans, for these are the hopes that all of us have for those that we love. I hope. I hope that you and those you love know joy. I hope that you are kind. I hope that you have belly laughs. I hope that you love to learn. And I hope that when sad tears leave your eyes, that someone is there to catch them. I hope that you are helpful. I hope you know beautiful happiness. I hope you play outside. And I hope you are a caretaker of Mother Earth. I hope that when you need a hug, there are loving arms to hold you. Exit frog. There. I hope that you and those you love have healthy food and clean water and a safe place to sleep. I hope you are courageous. I hope you remember to smile, that beautiful smile of yours. I hope you are respectful. And I hope you always remember that you are special and you matter. I have lots of hopes for you and me, but I wonder, what are your hopes? The end. And so as we go on our day to day, I want us all to think about the people that we love in our lives and what we hope for them. And I hope I don't pass out from heat exhaustion as I am the buffer. Now please join me as we sing the flame of our light downstairs to the children and youth.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
Just a few short moments, the ushers will be passing the offering basket. We come to this place because we love what exists here. This church is a living entity, and like all living things, it must have nurture. It must have sustenance. Its breath, its heartbeat, its life itself can only be derived from its living components. And we are that living component. If you are new here, please let the basket pass you by, as your presence is a gift to us this morning. If you're looking for ways to contribute your time and your energy or your talent with this beloved community, please stop by the membership table in the Barker Room to let us know. And the Barker Room is that area where you hang up your coats. Each month, we choose one cause to share our donations. You have just 2 weeks left, this week and next, to join with others here at Calgary Unitarians to donate to the good work of the Bear Clan Patrol. Bear Clan was a dream to take back the streets led by Indigenous people. For the people who formed and volunteer with Bear Clan, it's a way of life, a feeling of family, and a whole vibe that they belong to. They show up when they can, they organize their team, they gather, they prepare, and they safely patrol. And they honor those with whom they encounter, and they honor where they are in their healing journey. They share a medicine of hope, love, acceptance, recovery. If this is where you'd like to direct your offering, please indicate for others in the message on your e-transfer or on the offering envelope. And if you're attending online, you're going to see a link in the chat to our donations page so that you can use the offering time to also donate. And that's one way we include you here. After the basket passes you by, as the basket reaches you, just take half a breath and send your love and your energy to the Bear Clan patrol, and then pass it by. And then feel free to come and light a candle of care or concern at either one of our side sconces, or drop a pebble in our water communion water. A wise one once said, "The great use of life is to spend it for something that outlasts it." We will now receive our offering, your opportunity to give to this community, a lasting community of memory and hope. What a beautiful piece. Thank you, Melissa. I hope you know how much you are loved. I hope you feel that in your bones. In this community, you are very important to who we are. And let us just take a moment and acknowledge that being a human being in this world at this time is complicated, isn't it? That we have a lot of complicated emotions. And so let's just take a moment, and I'm going to invite Marcia to come forward and light our candles for us. Let's acknowledge all of the joys and the celebrations that we have in our lives. Elections won here in the province of Alberta. Resurgence and reclamation of Indigenous culture, the practices, the stories, the ceremonies, and so many other joys that we have in our lives. And let us also lift up that which weighs on our heart, because that is also part of being human. We are in that anxious place of not knowing whether the UUs across the continent who are gathering this very weekend online at the Unitarian Universalist Association's General Assembly, where the results of a very historic vote to adopt a new Article 2 in the bylaws and Constitution, that bylaw that lifts up value, that bylaw change that will lift up values that we hold in common, that embed the principles within those values. We also have concerns for all of the war-torn areas in the world and everything else between that weighs on our hearts. And Marcia just lit a candle of global concern. Did you know that there are more than 5,000 different Indigenous peoples around the world, comprising 476 million people? That's around 6.2% of our global population. They are spread across more than 90 countries in every region and speak more than 4,000 languages. Although their customs and cultures may differ, Indigenous peoples experience the same harsh realities the world over. Their human rights are routinely violated by state authorities, and they face high levels of marginalization and discrimination. Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you, Reverend Samaya. I love that theme of hope. Gives me hope. As an Indigenous person, I never had the opportunity to know who I was as an Indigenous person. My mother is a survivor of residential schools. And I wanted to learn my language, Cree, growing up, because it sounded like a really fun language. Whenever she was talking to her sisters and her mom, there was always lots of laughter and what sounded like punchlines to me. And I wanted to learn this language. And he goes, no. I got beat for speaking that at my school. I'll teach you French. I had good French nuns. I'll teach you French. So I've got a good basis in French. But I don't really know a lot of Cree. I'm picking it up as I go. I probably know more Blackfoot because I'm here in Blackfoot country. And I'm really glad to be in Blackfoot country. And I was blessed on this journey. They call it the Red Road of Indigenous Knowledge, Indigenous Learning. Because I had Blackfoot elders guide me, Dene elders, Stoney elders. And here in Calgary, it's a melting pot. I had Mi'kmaq elders, Anishinaabe, Ojibwe elders, Mohawk, Haudenosaunee, Haida Gwaii people. I was blessed to have many teachers. And I firmly believe that as long as we're breathing, we're learning. So let's keep on learning in a good way. One of the things that I do in my teachings is I teach about the 4 directions. The teachings of the medicine wheel. And the teachings of the medicine wheel, we've touched on a few of them today. The 4 directions, the 4 states of being, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. We also talk about the 4 beings of our earth when we're here and where all my relations are, those 4 directions that honor the winds. We also talk about the 4 elements. And in the ceremony of smudging, we bring together all 4 of those elements. I smudge with a shell, an abalone shell, which represents water. And water is a sign of the woman. And when I put my medicines in there, whether it's sage or sweetgrass, cedar, the healing medicine, or tobacco, what I call creator cell phone, because I bring a lot of tobacco with me. Those represent earth. And when I spark it with that flame, that represents the fire of life within each and every one of us. And fire is a sign of the man. So you have that balance between the male and that female energy coming together in the smudge ceremony. And as the smoke rises from the medicine, that cleansing smoke, that spirit of the medicine, there is that representation of air. We're very conscious in Calgary because right now, that sacred element of water, we are appreciating every single drop that comes out of our tap. And yet, in this most water-rich nation in the world, Canada has people who live on reserve who do not have access to potable water. Many have had boil water advisories for decades. When Trudeau came to power, he said, we're going to fix that. We're still waiting for water to come out of those taps. Water is indeed sacred. We have water. We are over 70% water in our bodies. Water has spirit. Water has energy. Water is a vibration. The way we talk to ourselves affects the water in our bodies. I like to share with the children, how are you talking to your water crystals? Are you loving your water crystals, or are you filling them with fear? Because we have that choice each and every day between fear and love. And when we make decisions, we affect that energy. When we are born with obligations. We are born with a blueprint. We've made deals with Creator on the other side. We have work to do when we come here. And when we make decisions, we must consider 7 generations back. What would our elders, our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, and 7 generations back think about the choices that we're making today? We must also consider 7 generations to the future. How will these decisions that we're making affect our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and those 7 generations yet to be born? We must also consider the present, the gift of the presence, the gift of your presence, and to look and make decisions through the lens of those 7 sacred teachings: courage and honesty, humility, respect, truth, wisdom, love. When we make decisions based on the past, the present, and the future, we make better decisions. When you make a decision and you make a choice, think of it as a rock being thrown into a pond, and that energy ripples out. Well, energy never dies. It just changes form. So what energy are rippling out from your decisions? Is it energy of fear and all those manifestations? Anger, righteousness, sadness and depression, blame, shame, humiliation? Or is it energy of love, hope, care, kindness, consideration, gentleness, thoughtfulness? What energy are you rippling out from your rocks that you're throwing into the pond, from the decisions that you're making? I encourage you to make your decisions consciously and think about the past, the present, and the future, and what energy you're putting into those ripples that are going out. I want to share a song with you which honors the 4 directions, those 4 winds, that balance, that moderation. And I need all the backup I can get, so I'm encouraging you to sing with me. This is Winde Yahoo, the Four Directions song. And yes, you can find it on YouTube as a Cherokee morning song, but I learned it as a Four Directions song. So let me grab my drum. Precious water. Good morning. I made this drum with purpose and intent. It's 25 years old. It's elk. How you doing, honey? This is Winde Yahoo, the Four Directions song. And it's pretty easy to give you a chance to pick it up and learn it in a good way. And I see some of you know it. Good. I need all the backup I can get, guys. Winde-ya-ho, winde-ya-ho, winde-ya, winde-ya, oh, ho, ho, oh, eh-ya-ha, eh-ya-ha, ya, ya, knocking it out of the park. This is the last verse, and then it's got a fancy ending and everything. Ready to rock and roll? Winde-ya-ho, winde-ya-ho, winde-ya, winde-ya, oh, 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 eh-ya-ha, eh-ya-ha, ya, ya. Okay, I'm taking you on the road with me, folks. Thank you. Hi, hi.
You know, one of the things about being a human alive today is we experience the high and the celebration, and then we also experience those contemplative times. And let us move into that space now. Spirit of life, God of many names, source of hope, we come together at the end of another week. Some are worn down by struggles of health, of home, or work. May we be a community that makes space for the sharing of the joys and the sorrows, the angers and the hopes, with grace and forbearance. During this month of June, people across this land that settlers call Canada take time to intentionally pause in the busyness of our lives to learn about the unique cultures, traditions, and experiences of Indigenous peoples, Inuit and Métis. And in so doing, let us remember the Indigenous lives lost from European colonization. Teach us to remember our history, Though we cannot make amends for what has come before, may we learn from those ways, never to repeat them in our lives today. May we develop new ways of relating to neighbor and stranger without violence or coercion, deceit or greed. Mother of grace, help us to find a sense of humility where we have the privilege and strength, where we can face oppression. In our struggles, may we learn compassion, and in our power, may we learn temperance. As a community of faith, may we be a safe harbor in a world that is often harsh towards indifference. Challenge us to use our presence as a healing force for justice and equity, knowing that although we come from far in the civil rights struggle of our time, there are many people who are still left behind. The work of building the beloved community is just as pressing now as it ever has been. Let us reflect on these words as we enter the reverent space of silence for 2 minutes, after which we'll come out of that silence with our musical interlude, Ancient Mother.
Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I hear your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears.
A settler's reflection on land acknowledgements. Land acknowledgements have become part of this congregation's institutional DNA. That's a good thing for several reasons. First and foremost is the need to be aware of the many injustices in Canadian history and how they affect Indigenous people today. Those injustices also affect the rest of us, as we come to recognize how many of our cultural norms have had negative consequences. There's also the way land acknowledgements call attention to our human connection to land, which can be rather deficient in settler populations, especially in city dwellers who didn't grow up on farms. Those in our community who recall experience with the cycles of plowing, planting, and harvesting know land more thoroughly than those who simply shop for food, with gardeners in a kind of middle ground. When people work with land, the work forms communities, identities, and culture. All of us living in settler culture may wonder what it means to consider land as part of our identity. I recall a student in a university course I was teaching years before Indigenous culture was given any attention by Canadian media and the Canadian public. The student wondered why people on the reserves didn't just solve the problem of poverty by moving to cities to get jobs. The answer was quickly supplied by some other students with considerable eye rolling. Leaving the land would mean leaving one's home, family and friends, familiar religion and culture, personal identity, source of food, and sense of safety, all at once. And who would then be left with enough knowledge to interpret signals from the land, to know when snow was coming, or how to time the planting of crops by listening for specific bird calls in the spring? An example is going on right now as we approach the summer. The methods being used to protect forest-adjacent communities from wildfires in Western Canada were developed by Indigenous people thousands of years ago. Those methods still work. So the community, this community, participates in land acknowledgements, whether scripted or improvised, to demonstrate respect for the nations of people who preceded us here, the knowledge that they carry forward, and the land itself, which needs all of our efforts to keep it safe. Thank you.
I want to share the Cree healing song with you. And I walked the Red Road for 5 years with my drum. My Blackfoot elder and I made the drum together. But I couldn't seem to pick up the Blackfoot songs or the Dene songs or the Stony songs. But I could keep a beat. I was good at that. And I would lend my drum out. See this on the back? It's rawhide. It's delicious if you're a dog. Yeah, I got the drum back a couple times with no back. But I made my drum, so I know how to fix it. Finally, I was invited to a Cree women's sweat, and I was thrilled. I'm Cree, I'm a woman, yeah! I was thrilled, and I brought my drum, and the elder sees me with my drum, and she goes, "Cheryl, play us a tune." And I say, I don't know any. Yeah, the look of disdain was enough from her. And I thought, okay, I'm here. But something very profound happened during the second round of that 4-round sweat lodge. As the elder started to sing this song, I started to sing and drum this song all the way through, right through to the very end. And at the break, the elder elbowed me and she said, I thought you didn't know any songs. And I said, I don't know any songs. But that song knew me. And I have since found out many of the songs and the stories and the ceremonies and the prophecies that we thought were lost when we lost our people, when we lost our elders to disease, to the residential school, to the 60s scoop, and now to child welfare. That energy never dies. Energy changes, but it never dies. And many of those gifts are coming back to the people. Coming back in ceremony and dreams and visions. Coming back in the forms of art, storytelling, films, music. And indeed, my daughter channels a lot of her teachings. Creator comes right to her, especially when do you ever want to make a drum? She'll teach you how to make a drum, and you would love the teachings that come over 3 days of birthing a drum. And I want to sing this song in the spirit of healing. There are 4 verses, and I'm going to drum the first 2, and when I stop the drumming and just sing that 3rd verse, I invite each and every one of you to put your hand on your belly button and close your eyes. Your belly button, that's where you are joined with your mother. That's where intuition talks to you in that quiet little voice. That gut instinct guides you. Those words will come to you. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should go there. Oh, I should give so-and-so a call. That's spirit talking. Listen to spirit. Act on spirit. And I want you to pray for your own healing, your well-being, your balance to help you walk this road. And if there's someone in your life, in your heart, that you wish to pray for, put that energy towards, send that healing energy out to, use it at that time. And then I'll bring in the drum, open your eyes and let that energy flow in a good way. Quiz. What's the first sound we hear before we're even born?
Party.
You win a prize. You got it. This is a Cree healing song. Hey, 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 ho, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, yo. Hey, 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 ho, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, yo. Hey, 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 ho, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, yo. Hey, 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 ho, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, way high, yo, way high, way high, yo. Thank you, Creator. for blessings received. Thank you, Mother Earth, for the gifts of your bounty. Thank you to the gifts of our elders, of our ancestors, of the teachings of those who have come before, the teachings of the medicine wheel and those 7 sacred teachings. Beloved Creator, we are small and weak. We need your strength, your wisdom, your light to guide us on this journey that is our life. Thank you, Creator, for that precious gift of life and learning. Thank you, Mother Earth, for the gifts of your bounty. Thank you, Creator, for that beautiful blessing and the gifts of love in our life. Love of self, love of family and friends, love of community, love of nation, love of all my relations upon our beautiful Mother Earth. Thank you, Creator, for blessings received. Thank you, Creator, and let thy will be done. Kinanaskomitin, I am grateful. Hi, hi. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Hi, hi.
There are no other words to say to extinguish our chalice other than deep, deep gratitude. Gratitude to you, Melissa, for your gifts today. And most of all, Cheryl, gratitude for you, the gift of your wisdom, the gift of your love, the gift of your teachings. We will carry these in our hearts. And this is now totally unscripted, my dear ones, because this is my last service with you until September. We have made it a whole congregational year! One of many more yet to come. I am so thrilled to be able to say that. So let me extinguish our chalice. And take the sparks. May that spark of light that you grabbed and brought to your heart hold you, sustain you, carry you over these summer months until we are together again. In just a few moments, we'll have our postlude. Please remain seated or online until it plays. If you're online, you're going to see a new link being posted into the chat for you. You can click on that after the postlude plays to enjoy conversation with other people who are online. If you're here in person, head on over to Wickenden, grab some coffee, tea, have some lovely conversation, and don't forget to join us at what time? 3 o'clock today for Jane Perry's concert. So now, let us turn and wave to the people who are online.